What's up, Desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another bodybuilding news video. And today we're discussing Hadi Choopan's funky delts. Will that hold him back at the 2020 Mr Olympia? We've got a physique update from him 2 weeks out. Also, Brandon Curry, a physique update from him 2 weeks out. Flex Lewis got undergoing stem cell treatment. Plus, we've got two underdogs in the 212 physique updates from them. Can they actually surprise everyone and take the 212 Olympia title? So let's start with Flex Lewis getting stem cell treatment in Colombia. He's actually just, I believe, arrived back in the US from there, and he's got a whole range of treatments, and it's pretty cool that he's actually keeping everyone up to date with the treatments he's getting, because obviously he had some issues with his shoulders and whatnot that actually kept him out of the 2020 Mr Olympia, where he's going to make his open Mr Olympia debut, which a lot of people were really excited for, but he was sort of forced out of it due to injury. So some of the stuff he's been getting done there. So he's been in a hyperbaric chamber, he's got an IV vitamins, he's got an IV stem cells, and he's got stem cells injected directly into the sites, which is the shoulders, the elbows, and the knees for him. So he's kept everyone really up to date on this, and I think it's really, really cool. So you can see here on the screen right now what he's actually written up about it. So if you wanted to pause the video and go over all that sort of stuff, it's really quite interesting. I found it interesting anyway. And he discusses how, has he been in pain? Yes and no. So some of it, he's been in pain and discomfort and things like that, with obviously the injections into the knees and the shoulders and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how much it actually helps Flex Lewis. He's still going to get treatment back in the US as well, as far as his post says too. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly he can bounce back, put the size back on, and hopefully in 2021 we get to see him on that Mr Olympia stage, which honestly, it's not as far as we really think, because the Olympia next year, I don't think will be pushed back to December again. It'll probably move back to September, where it traditionally is. So once this Olympia is done in December, it's only going to be really 9 months or less, probably less, to the 2021 Mr Olympia. So I think that's really exciting, and bodybuilding fans, I suppose, won't have to wait as long for that prestigious Mr Olympia in 2021. Now, our next story, we've got two 212 pros that have physique updates. The first one is Ahmad Ashkanani, who was really one of the contenders for the 212 Olympia at one stage. He won his pro card and then went straight to that 212 Olympia and finished second to Flex Lewis, and everyone thought that he might have been the heir apparent when Flex Lewis left to actually win that 212 Olympia title. It wasn't to be. He sort of regressed a little bit, but he's looking great again in his recent physique updates. He's out there training, I believe, with Rolly Winkler for the 212 Olympia, and he's looking really, really good. So he actually posted up a physique update with the photos, and then he actually posted up a video, which, a lot of people say in Kuwait they use the magic mirror and all that sort of stuff, and maybe some of the photos are edited. Obviously, it's pretty hard to edit these videos to make him look peeled as he's actually moving. So he's looking really, really good. Now, the two, I suppose, things, or maybe 2 or 3 things that sort of hold Ahmad Ashkanani back is his legs from the front. Now, they look a little bit funky in terms of, they just don't have that nice roundness. The shape's a little bit funky. They've never been his strong point, but his legs from the side are outrageously good. Like, his glutes are in, his hamstrings hang just about to the floor, and he looks absolutely crazy in those poses. Looks huge from the back as well. I suppose he just lacks a little bit of separation, and his midsection seems to be a little bit bloated in this video, but obviously this is in the gym. He could have been totally full of food, and he could have been forcing food that day. You don't really know. So I hope Ahmad Ashkanani keeps that waist under control. Hopefully he comes in absolutely shredded, and he can, let me know what you think in the comments below. How well do you think Ahmad Ashkanani can do at the 212 Olympia? Is he a guy that can potentially win it? Let me know in the comments. Now, Frias Calderon is a guy that I've been big on, mostly since last year's Olympia, where I thought that, 10th place was maybe a little bit too low for him, because he looked absolutely crazy. He's bursting. He's one of these guys that always looks bursting full. He's always in condition, and he's proven it this year. Since the Olympia last year, I think he's actually won 3 or 4 pro shows in the 212. So obviously he's proven his worth in that 212 division. Now, coming into this Olympia, he's looking as big as ever. These recent physique updates from a few days ago, he's just looking absolutely crazy. And it makes me wonder how far he'll actually move up from that 10th spot at last year's Olympia. The guy 1 spot ahead of him, Aaron Pilates, who's from Australia, he won't be doing it. And there might even be a few others that aren't doing it as well. So I'm excited to see how far he can actually move up. And I think a top 5 is probably likely for Angel Calderon. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Can Angel Calderon even win the 212 Olympia? Because if he comes in peeled like he always is super full. Is he too short? What's, I suppose, the issue with his physique? Maybe lacks a little bit of separation from behind, but he's that hard, but I don't think it should really matter. So Angel Calderon is going to be a threat, in my opinion, at the 212 Olympia in 2020. Now, our next story, Brandon Curry, 2 weeks out of the 2020 Mr. Olympia. And the one, I suppose, major knock for Brandon Curry is he going to come in condition? And it looks like, but these recent physique updates, that he is in condition because he's just standing there relaxed and he has lines through his shoulders. Now, a lot of guys really have to flex pretty hard to get those lines popping out in their delts, but he's so full. He has so much muscle right now, which is another thing. He's going to be bigger than last year's Olympia by the looks of it anyway. That he's actually, the muscle is pushing so hard against the skin. So I can't wait to see, you know, him hitting a crab most muscular while he's got these sorts of details in his shoulders. I just can't wait to see that and how it, I suppose, shows up on stage, because he's looking very, very good. And he posted with his most recent physique update, he said in just 2 weeks from today, it'll be all said and done. No more predictions, no more smack talk, no more wondering or assuming what will be. Let the judges do their job. What will be shall be. I'm ready. So Brandon is bringing it this year, in my opinion, for the 2020 Mr. Olympia. And also, head over to Brandon Curry All Access on YouTube. We just recorded a Q&A with him for that channel, which is really, really cool. I think, I'm not sure how long it goes for, maybe about 30 minutes, 2 weeks out of the Olympia. And he even discusses what he would do in an MMA fight versus Phil Heath. And he goes into detail too. And it's a lot of really cool questions and answers on there as well. So that should be up in about 24 hours or under from the time this video goes up as well. So make sure you head to Brandon Curry All Access. I'll put the link in the description as well. And our last story, Hadi Choopan. Now, he went live on Instagram just last night, my time, which was only about 8 hours ago now. And initially, I was watching him and thinking, geez, he always looks good. He always looks big, but the lighting in this video wasn't the best. It didn't make him look, I don't think, as conditioned as he really is in real life. But the one thing I was noticing, he's training triceps, his delts looked funky. Now, this was the knock on him when he won the Vancouver last year. It was really the only knock on him, because everyone was blown away at how damn good Hadi Choopan actually looked in that. But the delts were, you know, a little bit, I suppose, funny, and they look poked up a little bit. And it's not something I really want to point attention to with a lot of these guys, but it is something that he'll be judged at on stage. And if he does show up with his shoulders looking like this on stage, I believe he would actually get marked down, because this does look worse than I suppose it was at the last year's Olympia or at the Vancouver Pro last year. But we've got to remember, this is 2 weeks out of the Olympia, and guys obviously, you know, rotate sights and things like that, and maybe he just hit him, you know what I mean? So we don't really know how they'll come in on stage, but I hope that they do look a little bit, I suppose, down from this, because we don't want to see them, his shoulders inflamed like that, because he will get marked down. So it's unfortunate they look like this in this video and people are going to draw attention to it, like myself, but it's something that's pretty obvious, I suppose, when you're watching this video, that his delts do look quite pointy, which definitely isn't a good look. But overall, he's looking absolutely huge. I don't know how Hadi Choopan always stays in condition year round, because he seems to be peeled just 24/7 and pretty much ready to go in any contest with 2 weeks notice. So I can't wait to see Hadi Choopan and how he looks at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. As long as those shoulders are down, he's a guy that literally could contend for the win. And people aren't talking about him like that, but that's literally the reality of this guy. And there's probably about 6 guys that could contend for the win at this 2020 Mr. Olympia. So let me know what you think in the comments. Can Hadi Choopan win the 2020 Mr. Olympia? And do you think his shoulders will be an issue for him on stage? Now, guys, if you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up and smash that like button. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell button, because I've got my Mr. Olympia series up right now on YouTube. I've interviewed guys like Hunter Labrada just yesterday. I've got Brandon Curry. I've got interviews with Derek Lunsford, William Bonac, Breon Ansley, a whole bunch, plus just a whole lot of Mr. Olympia content in general, where I'm discussing, you know, predictions for the Classic Physique, the Opens, the 212s, and all that stuff as well. So make sure you do check that out, and subscribing will be the easiest way to see all my Mr. Olympia coverage. Also, if you want to support the channel, head to hostile.com, HOSSTILE.com. Enter ZAVE10, you'll save yourself 10% on the best supplements in the world, in my opinion. The link is in the description as well. Just check out all their stuff on there and just look at their ingredients lists. The products really do sell themselves pretty much. So that's it for me, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. I am, and we are out.